Hi guys, Owen here. So I'm making a new piece of equipment. I'll go into it obviously later what it is, but yeah, I'm making a new piece of equipment for people, whether you're working out or have back pain, and I just want to kind of go through the process. And I'm going to try maybe I'm going to try grade it. I'm just out walking rock. Getting good, and just like document the whole thing, so that if it ever is popular or goes anywhere, that you can see what it takes to get a product launched. No real experience with that. Obviously I've experience running a physio clinic and just doing Pilates courses, but I've never met anything in my life or tried market it really. So basically where I am, right, so I had the idea a good few years ago, and then I emailed the enterprise office with it, just random. I was like, I need to do something with this idea. So rang them nearly this time last year, so it's taken ages. So what happened was then I got in and I had really good meetings with the enterprise office, and I didn't really know how to go about coming up with it, like the idea and all the stuff with it. So basically it's like a thing for your back to give you, it's going to be called the back aware belt. It gives you awareness of your back when it's in a good position, when it's in a poor position. I'll send out the videos from like nearly a year ago, and basically they were great. Like, I must say the people in Enterprise Ireland were brilliant. Aileen McGrath's the main person I deal with, but there's loads of really good people in there, and they were like, look, there's funding for what's called, like, I don't even remember the name of it. It's like an innovation grant. It's like feasibility study. So you just see, is this actually feasible? So what they do with that is they'll actually match your funding. So basically if I put in, like, say 5-10 grand to make this work, they'll match that. They'll put in 5-10 grand. So with that in mind, I applied for that, and that was actually brilliant because it gives you the incentive to start it, because you're like, God, how much is this thing going to actually cost to get off the ground? And I started looking into then talking to engineers about making this product. So I had I was chatting to people abroad. I was looking up different people. I went to a few ITs in Ireland, but it's going to cost maybe like 20 grand, which I just didn't have to get it. But I got it like cheaper. Now sometimes you buy cheap, you buy twice, and that's what happened to me. So I had a guy, an engineer I found, and he was going to work on it. He's in Mexico, but it didn't work out. He got decent weight and then just stopped communicating basically. So I lost how much did I lose? I lost about 600 euros on that. And then another guy who was working on an app for me, and again, just he wasn't up to task. Yeah, and again I lost about 600 euros on that. So it wasn't a great start. But I got a group now. I have a group that's working on it now. They're doing the belt, because I know the type of things I have done. So they're working on the belt, and they're working on the app. So at least they're both in-house. I suppose a good lesson there that I learned was two things, right? Like, there's a great saying. Oh, sorry, Rock. He's more of a stop and sniff dog rather than a walk dog. There's a great saying that it's called Zerosum thinking. So it's like, knowing what I know now, would I have hired this person? And if the answer is no, well then it's important just to get out of it as quick as you can. So that's kind of where I was at. Like, it was like, you know, as we were going, like, there was so many delays with the app, and it wasn't working the way I wanted it to work. And then same with the belt, the man was just not really getting back to me, or he was saying there's this problem, and I was wondering about, you know, making more of the belts. So he yeah, I just started asking myself, like, knowing what I know now, would I have hired these people? And the answer started coming to no. So what I had to do then was just bite the bullet, and I was keeping them on because I had paid them, but I actually started looking for someone else to also do it. And that's another thing that I do, is not trying not to have one point of failure. So my thing was getting like done over just because one person wasn't working. So it was nearly worth employing 2 people, and then employing 2 people, and then if one doesn't work, you're still not screwed. So I had to really start again then, essentially, because I gave them like 5 months. So since then I started again on the app and the belt, and we're making better progress now. The prototype came over, like, it looks clunky, and I'll try upload those videos. I have been recording videos as I go, but yeah, I have been recording videos as I go, but it still needs a bit of work. They're going to make it a lot smaller, so they make it onto like a PCB board or something. So basically what that is it just means that the little box that the thing's going to come in is going to be a lot smaller. So then the one at the moment's clunky because we need to kind of mess around and make sure it works. So it's buzzing, but it needs to stop buzzing and connect to the app, so they're working on that. But I don't want them to, so they sent me over. I won't be paying them until I you want to turn? Come on. I won't be paying them until I see it working, basically. And I'm hoping to have like maybe 50 to 100 of a first order. I have good contacts around in sport, you know. We'll be giving them out to a few high profile teams and to test, and then maybe, you know, my Pilates crew and a few others, just to see what they're like. The other thing as well, I am looking to sell them straight away, because people can say, oh, it's great, or it's whatever, like, but I'll just probably park the money in case something happens and they need refunds. But I want to see what people think when they actually, would they pay and buy these things. Yeah, so that's, even though then obviously coronavirus hit, and that delayed the thing a lot. So that's where we are. So I'm just kind of going to document like how you take, I'm not in a how-to, just to be just an interesting thing that if it ever did go. So where I am, I wonder will I close this video up now? I think I will, and then I can do the next one of where we are. So that's basically where we are. I applied for funding, got the half funded now. Basically, I don't know if I'll get that funding, because, and rightly so, you have to show the freaking product working for them as a feasibility, just to make sure it's feasible that this thing can go. I got a delay of 2 months, but we're up against it now to get a product into the enterprise office, so that they'll be happy with, to see is this type of product feasible. I've also so I had to change my engineer to get the thing right. I got to change my app designer, so lost money and lost a lot of time on that, but look, these things can happen. And as I said, I was happy with it because I actually had new people on board before the other two just totally bailed out. They just stopped communicating with me. I'd be soft enough, like I paid them a decent bit of money up front, you know, thinking like, oh, look, if you treat people well, they'll treat you well back, but it didn't work like that. So but all the other things I've actually done well. I've had I have a patent on it now anyway, on the idea. I have a trademark on the name, I have a website, and I have the website, though it's blank. I'll show you how I designed the website. I just made up some Microsoft Word pages, and then I got a designer to start writing up. It still needs a lot of the videos, because obviously I don't have the freaking belt to put it on, but I've been working on what's the best way to convey the message of why it's important. What else do I done? I think I have a class logo, so I got all the stuff I could do done pretty early, and now I actually, just with patients, with my physio, if you mention something at the moment in my clinic, just I'm calling in favours to beat the band. I'm calling in favours. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, so I was over with, I won't say her name because she'd be quite shy, but she mentioned she had a sewing machine, so we were over like trying to get the product looking a bit better, because the initial belt has come now, and it's a bit like, oh, what's the word, like, it looks like a 1926 fucking sex belt, excuse my language. So we just need to get the right materials for it. Another patient just mentioned that their son is into fashion, and I wanted, like, Ger, actually, my wife, she made a good point about, like, you know, the right material for the belt. The moment looking at felt, I was over at Threads of Green in Kilkenny, picking out loads of different fabrics and trying to make the belt look slick as well. Because obviously, look, we're on only the first prototype, but I want to try get it that it's at a very good level from the start. And then the box, they're making smaller as we start, and I have to depend on it. So, like, I got a patent, I got a trademark, have a website ready to roll once I just do the videos. Have some good contacts that I think it'll work. So idea now is, like, just to try get it all working correctly, very reliable. Have another patient, and his brother now is an engineer, and he's working in an IT, so I'm going to meet up with him, go over design, and it'll just be great to have someone external to that engineering team that can, like, help me with the idea and give, you know, maybe consider other things that we haven't considered. No, like, that's kind of where we're at now. So I have a lot of stuff done, but it's like just getting the freaking belt now, and then we'll be on to phase 2, which will be kind of trying to, like, get either pre-orders, people interested in it, or getting get your pre-orders, or getting like 50 to 100 belts ordered, and you'll see, can you sell these, can you get them out there. Like, I'm excited about the idea. I think the idea is, like, brilliant, and it's actually great in life now. You can actually have an idea and contact, like, I was contacting companies through Alibaba in China, just to, like, find, like, fabric materials, see if they could make these things for me, and, you know, stuff like that. So that is cool. Like, or you could be chatting to engineers abroad, trying to make up this idea and learn all this stuff. So it's just coming back. The design still's not looking brilliant at the moment, but I think it's just a change of fabric, make the box a lot smaller, and then we're going to be getting there. And as I said, I'm going to meet up with the engineer in Ireland and hopefully chat. I had another patient who had a solder machine, so we had to, like, when it came over, it came from abroad, it came from Asia, the prototype, so they cut off the freaking battery, so I had to order another battery, and he was helping me put that back on. So it's good, it's exciting, like, and it's a bit all go, but it's just, as I said, I want to just kind of track the journey. Like, now, to be honest, a lot of times nothing happens. Like, as I said, I'll sum up a year in nearly 15 minutes, so let's see what he thinks. Okay.